Hi everyone, and welcome again to the Meridian Energetics channel. And I'm going to make this the third video, and this one here is going to be somewhat of a short or brief description of the 12 chakra system as I have experienced it, and also of the Meridian system, the new Meridian system that is activating in a lot of people right now at this point, just to give you some general information. And now the 12 chakra system that I'm talking about, I first experienced it about 20 years ago as it came to me in a, shall we say, a shimmering body, or a silhouette body, if you want to call it that, and the whole of the chakra system was contained within it. And apparently what was happening is this additional body or sheath body was attempting to link with my physical, and I was having all kinds of problems. I didn't know what was going on at the time. Nobody told me. And I wasn't getting any intuitive insight, so I had the use of a couple of really good clairvoyants who I had come one at a time. They didn't know each other. To take a look at what was taking place with me, and both of them informed me of the same thing, that this 12 chakra system was trying to integrate, actually meld or slide into my physical body, become one with it. And I was, shall we say, resisting the process. So what happened was eventually it did make the link, and the 12 chakra system came in. Now this was well over 20 years ago. For the first 10 after that integration of the 12, basically you didn't see any information on the internet at all about a 12 chakra system. It was still basically all 7 chakra system information. What has happened now is we've had the situation where I have noticed in the last 5 years specifically, we've had a lot of information coming up on the internet in regards to the 12 chakra system. Now, the situation here is this. In some cases, people are talking not only about a 12, but a 13th chakra, and even chakras beyond that, which I'm not in dispute of in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that I wanted to emphasize is that the 12 chakra system that I'm talking about is directly related to the physical body, or it is the new chakra system specifically orchestrated towards maintaining the energy flow and the templating that's going into the physical body as it's going through this evolutionary process. So we have evolved to a point in our evolutionary process where the 7 chakra system can no longer contain Homo sapien, because we are evolving into a much higher vibrational state of consciousness that requires additional chakras for the energies that we're going to have access to, because they cannot be assimilated by a 7 chakra system, if I can put it that way. Now, another important point here is the 13th chakra that people are talking about. As I understand and I accept that it is there, but I'm talking about specifically those orchestrated towards the maintenance and also the physical body, all right? The other chakras are there. I acknowledge they are there. Now, another thing that comes up is, as I have perused through the internet, as I suppose most of you have at some point, as you're discovering the 12 chakra system, you have probably noticed and found out that there seem to be some discrepancies, if I can use that word, as to where they're located. They seem to be located in perhaps off to the left or off to the right, or a little bit higher or a little bit lower. The important thing to remember in this situation is that depending upon the race, depending upon the culture, depending upon the environment and the location on the planet or the continent, there will be some slight variations according to location of the chakras, The basic format of it will all be the same, but there will be some off to the left or off to the right in that type of a situation in that. So don't everybody get confused with it, okay? Now, in regards to the function of the 7 chakra system and what it entails, is I'm going to give a brief description only of the additional 5. Everyone should have basically be familiar with the 7 chakra system as it is and where they're located. I'm going to start talking as if I'm talking about number 8, and that's the way I'm numbering it. That doesn't mean everybody else has to. but in order of priority and importance as I feel intuitively that it should go. Number 8 would be the chakra just below the heart center, located down around about where the rib cage crosses over. And I call this the creative chakra. In the old esoteric material, they call it the wishing well chakra. At one point, this particular chakra used to be active in everyone, obviously, but since the lowering of frequency of Homo sapien, the chakra went dormant. And now what's happened is due to the fact of the heart center chakra awakening that has taken place, people are moving and experiencing energies beyond duality, if I can put it that way, and they are accepting responsibilities for their role as a creator or co-creator or a manifester, and the responsible use of these creative abilities and power. What happens is these chakras begin to open, and usually the first one that will begin to open is number 8, which is the creative chakra, and it is strictly for the aspect of being creative. It's a chakra that you can focus your attention to, and it is directly tuned into your thoughts and your mental body, and also the imaginative faculty as a co-creative force. There's kind of a union between the imagination, the heart center, and also the creative chakra that kind of creates a pyramid of energies that brings into manifestation a state of creation for the individual in question if it's used appropriately and in the right fashion. This is becoming, from my perspective, almost standard equipment in a lot of people. 20 years ago, it was extremely rare to find anyone with an open 8th chakra. That's just my number again. I want to emphasize that point. Now, as you move upward, you move from the 8th, you move directly to the heart center chakra, which everyone knows all of the information about it. I don't need to give any here. So I'm going to move directly to the next one, which is number 9, which is located directly between the heart center and also the throat. And this one I call the dimensional chakra. This particular chakra allows for the individual in question to start traveling to different dimensions, timelines, and realities. It also allows the individual to experience the dissipation of time, or the dissolution of time in physical reality. Some of the symptoms would be loss of awareness of appointments. I can't remember what day it is. All kinds of stuff like that. Or you would begin seeing things in the physical world that you never saw before. It could be entities, it could be beings, it could be energy that you never experienced or saw before. This begins to activate as this interdimensional chakra begins to open up. And again, I need to mention here, just so that everybody knows, is the opening of these chakras also denotes that when there is a shift in the chakras of any kind, excuse me, when there's a shift in the chakras of any kind, what happens is there's going to be physical symptoms, physical symptoms of that particular change that's taking place. And it's important to remember that. Many times what happens is as these chakras begin to open, people will start to experience physical symptoms. It can be tightness in the chest, or the bones are sore, or you have a spinning or a pressure sensation in certain areas of the body. Usually when this happens, people go into a panic mode because they're feeling something physical. And in most cases, they don't understand that it is a symptom of a chakra that is beginning to manifest and open, which is beginning to have a flow of energy move through it, which in turn has to have an adjustment take place within, obviously, the blood flow in the body, the heart rate, the breathing rate, respiratory intake, all has to be changed and modified. And in a lot of cases, you'll find out that this has to do with changes in diet, sleep habits, and also even with your surroundings, in many cases, as the chakras open. And this is the dimensional chakra, number 9. The 10th, as I give it in the training to the practitioner, is what is called the well of dreams. It's directly at the back of the head, and it has directly related to a lot of symptoms people have with headaches, especially right at the base of the end of the spinal column as it manifests in the back of the head. When this one opens, the well of dreams, I call it, what happens is usually the dream state goes through dramatic changes. The person has to learn the dream symbology all over again. And the other thing that it does is it intensely activates the imaginative faculty. This seems to be a portion of material that's out there on the internet that never really gets discussed a great deal, of which I'm going to touch on briefly here in this video, and it is this. Everyone seems to understand the activation of the heart center, and they all understand the movement of Kundalini energy. They understand that they're going through changes in the physical. They understand that they're offloading from the mental, the emotional, and the etheric. But a lot of people don't seem to understand that once the dream chakra at the back of the head opens, immediately the powers of the imaginative faculty, along with the dream state, have been enhanced. This means that the dream state would be really, in some cases, flamboyant. And along with the person, as they're going through their daily life, and I just want to touch on this point here because this is something that practitioners learn also. As people are going through their daily life, they're now, when they're using the mental body or they're thinking, when you're thinking, you're seeing. And let's be candid about it. So if you're thinking, you're seeing, and if the imaginative faculty has been enhanced, then what you're thinking and seeing becomes more vivid. And what you're thinking and seeing all day will affect you in the dream state, especially if you have certain belief systems or you've made connections or whatever else. I don't think this subject is touched enough upon individuals here, and in many cases, people are seeing and imagining things that's exactly what they're doing. The imagination and all of these faculties have to go through a period of, I'm going to call it, for lack of a better expression, puberty, where they go through the growth pains, the bumps and lumps that go along with it, until it becomes an enhanced part of the faculty of the individual in question. So it's unreliable. It's all over the place initially in the beginning. And this is really, really prominent with this, the dream state chakra at the back of the head that goes on, or the well of dreams, as I like to call it, that goes on to the back of the head. And you can get some really intense headaches for this chakra, either on one side of the spinal column or on the other side of the spinal column, depending what you are. If you're a very left brain or a very right brain person, this will give direct indication as to what side of the spinal column you're going to feel it on. Okay, now, moving up now to, that was number 10, to 11 and 12. 11 and 12 are not what I would call major chakras. They exist on both hemispheres of the brain, and usually when what happens is they denote the energy of a complete flow of yin-yang energy through the body, and finally it gets up to the head with in combination of the Kundalini energy. And what happens is these two chakras begin to open on the left and the right side of the head. When they do this, what they do is they unify with what is called the old system, the crown chakra. And the crown chakra is the left-right, is the unification of duality. And what happens is it links up or connects to the crown, and the person becomes how would we call it, a unified field of energy. And at that particular point, they are able to allow the dissension of higher selves to start coming in on a much more permanent basis, and their intuition and abilities really take off. But again, this is all a process of what is being taken place at this point. Now, I don't want to make this too long a video, so I'm going to stop this one here, and I'm going to go into a second video here, which will be the actual Meridian system. We'll just call this one a video on the chakras. I gave a little bit more information that I was planning to, so I want to stop it because I don't want these to be too long. So I'll make another video just on the Meridian system. Thank you very much, everyone.